Well, many Nebraska state senators will argue they passed substantial legislation and last session was a productive one. They'll also agree some of the most important bills were tabled. They've been meeting all summer and gearing up to start again in a few months. Today, several legislators spoke in Lincoln on what they believe needs to be done in 2020. Reporter John Kipper was there and tells us what a couple senators believe.
Just over 2 months before the next legislative session, members of the Nebraska legislature say they're ready to tackle the biggest issues facing the state.
Time that we step away from the meeting tables and we start to take some action.
Now, despite a heavy push, senators were unable to pass any substantial property tax reform this past year because they ran out of time. One way to solve that problem, according to Senator Anna Wishart, is as soon as they come back to the Capitol in January, to begin working on property taxes.
We need to stop having tax discussions at the end of session in the last 3 weeks. We are exhausted. A lot of us have burnt our political capital, and so it's not a great time to do major reforms.
One bill that will be a heavy focus in 2020 would give financial incentives to businesses that create jobs in the state. The Imagine Nebraska Act would take over for the Advantage Nebraska Act, which is set to expire next year. This past session, rural senators walked away from the new bill after not passing property tax reform. If it did expire, Nebraska would be the only state without a business incentives package.
So if we don't renew our tax incentive policy, we're sending the wrong message to business innovators that we're not ready for them to come to our state.
Well, those two issues were the hot topics at the Nebraska Chamber breakfast in Lincoln. That wasn't all that was brought up. Senator Kate Bowles is pushing a bill to up the pay of senior prison staff, and Senator Wishart wants the state to take steps to reduce the prison population.
We're dealing with population crisis. Why are we warehousing people? We need to start differentiating in our laws who we're afraid of and who we're mad at.
Reporting in Lincoln, John Kipper, 3 News Now.
The 2020 legislative session begins on January 8th.